Welcome back to Half-Baked Reactions. I'm Bailey, and today we are going to watch Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle movie trailer, part 1. So, I am beyond excited, because I might be a relative new Demon Slayer fan. I only started the anime, towards the end of last year. I know a lot of you might have been following it for years, especially with the manga. For me, I only started at end of last year, and I watched it all in the space of, a week, and I've since rewatched it, and most parts of it, and I've listened to it on Apple Music pretty much on repeat, and I've got every track saved, and I just play them all the time. I do the same thing with Attack on Titan music, even One Punch Man music, and My Hero Academia music. So I'm fully engrossed into everything that I can Demon Slayer. I haven't read the manga yet because I think for this end part of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc, I want to go in with a completely fresh set of eyes without having anything spoiled for me. And I think once all 3 movies are done, I'm going to go back and read the manga and watch the show again. But at the moment, where I left off a few months ago was at the end of the Hashira training arc, where they just started going after, all the Hashiras attacked Muzan, then at once they all got transported. And it was the biggest cliffhanger, blew my freaking mind. I'm sure it did to all of you. So to see the continuation from that, I'm hyper. I'm excited. Now, the tricky thing is, because the movie's split into 3 parts, and I don't know any spoilers since I haven't read the manga, so please no spoilers in the comments, but if you know some info that's about which characters will be focused on in which movie, please let me know that in the comments, because that's actually really important to me. Just don't spoil what happens to the characters. But because it's split across 3 movies, they'd have to section off each character, each group of characters, maybe 2 or 3 characters per movie, because otherwise it would just be cross-cutting between fights and we'd wait 5 years to see what happens. Although, I do know most anime do that, like Bleach with the filler episodes. But anyway, I don't know who will be focused on for this first movie. I'm hoping as a general basis, it starts everybody off, and then towards the end of the movie, we start focusing on one character, they do their bit. Second movie, we get these 2 new groups of characters. And I hope third movie is mainly Tanjiro. He is my favorite character. I'm a sucker for the main character, as long as the main character is well done, which Tanjiro is, and his sun breathing, I still don't know, Hino Kamikagura, I think that's how I pronounce it. If it's not, I'm sorry. But it's still got so much mystery surrounding it, and what his father did, and that first Demon Slayer who attacked Muzan in the past, who was also a sun breather. All of it's a mystery, so that's what I hope these movies will help me kind of figure out, and hopefully give us all of the answers. Now, since the trailer's only just come out, it's actually 2 a.m. right now when I'm filming this in Australia where I am, so hopefully I'm not too tired for the reaction. I think just seeing it already has me smiling a ton, so I don't think my reaction will be toned down because of me being tired or anything. But at the end of the reaction, I'm also going to do a breakdown of the trailer. So once we react to the trailer together, we're going to go through most of the shots and kind of analyze it, because I honestly do not know what's going to happen. So for me, I kind of want to wrap my head around every single thing that I can. I want to see who Tengen's fighting, who Inosuke is going to fight, if we're going to meet the first sun breather, or if we're going to see flashbacks to him and how, if when I say we see him, are we going to see flashbacks to the first fight with Muzan? And then will that awaken something within Tanjiro? And what are these marks? I've got so many questions I don't know the answer to. And the show has been done so well that it makes me want to know those answers, truly. And that's the hallmark of a good show. So, that's enough of me rambling. I'm sure you all want to watch the trailer right now, and honestly, so do I. So, let's get into the reaction. Whoa, that's so many demons. Oh, that guy is crazy. Whoa. His sword, or his... I don't even know what that's called. The spiky ball. It's not a mace, is it? But it looks so cool. So is her sword, the way that it can literally move like a whip. And it bends, metal sheet is bending. I don't know how that's possible. It's like silk. Why is Tanjiro afraid while he's falling? He was very resolute when he was falling last time. That is a cool weapon, those fans. That's the guy who got his face ripped in half, right? But then grew it back in an instant. Long time no see.
善逸
What? Who's that? How does he know Zenitsu? I love this main theme song. Lisa? She's super famous, right? Akaza! Akaza! It's gonna be a rematch between Tanjiro and Akaza. This is for Rengoku. This is for Rengoku. Because his power is super speed, right? Don't end it. Don't end the trailer. September 12th. No, the trailer's not over. Oh my god, no way. No! No, 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 why? That looks so cool. And they just ended it there. So soon, too. I've waited months. I wanted to see more. Damn, okay. That was a really cool trailer. Let's break it down. So I will say, I am going to be quite bad with some of these characters' names. I'm sorry. I've forgotten a lot of the Hashira's names, or... yeah, I've just forgotten. I'm like a huge fan of it, and I know this might sound really bad if I can't remember all of their names, because I really am a big fan. Names for me are not good even with people. I'm really good with faces, and I'll always remember someone's face. Names, I don't always remember, unfortunately. Now this guy, the snake Hashira, I think is serpent breathing, is it? Or reptile breathing? He doesn't like Tanjiro, because obviously he likes the female Hashira with that like blade that's like silk and she can twirl it around. But he thinks Tanjiro is flirting with her even though they're not. Tanjiro is just being his usual sweet, happy-go-lucky self, which we all love. So he doesn't like Tanjiro, and they butted heads lots of times. To see him here, not even going against the demons, he's literally soaring above them. It's crazy, like the power of the breathing techniques. I know it's strong, but it's just to think in a world of demons, humans can still be this powerful is astonishing, honestly. Okay, so now I want to know who this guy is, because he's not one of the upper demons, right? And I think all the lower demons, they're not all killed, right? There's still some left? No, the Mugen train, she was number 6. Am I correct in saying that, guys? So these must all be higher ranked demons that are going after the Hashiras. I don't think this one is, because I remember when Muzan, brought them all together, there was this guy with, 6 eyes. This guy... oh, wait, he does have 6 eyes. No, but he looked completely different. The other one used a sword. Then there was Akaza. Then there was the guy in the vase who's now killed from the Hashira training arc. And I think a couple others. But he wasn't there, this unicorn 6-eyed. I don't think he'll be a match for the wind-breathing Hashira. Interesting. I feel like they're teeing it up to be like a big moment in the trailer, because he's like, oh, is something going to come and get him? Because he's not looking and his eyes are bloodshot. But I feel like he'll just slice him instantly. So I feel like they're building it up for us, but in reality, it's over in a flash. Which is good. It's what it should be if it's a low-ranked demon. And this one, he's literally just broken through the wall. So he's probably trying to go find Muzan. And in this shot, we can see what I think it is. It's the mist-breathing Hashira as well, who's really shy and reserved. I did think he was going to die in the Hashira training arc. Oh, I hope I haven't jinxed something now by saying that. I don't think he will. So, maybe he will. I don't know. I'm not going to jinx anything. But they're working together. So they must be fighting someone who's strong enough to need both. Because the guy with the mace, he's swinging it around, he's the strongest Hashira at the moment. I hope Tanjiro at the end becomes the strongest. But at the moment it's him, followed by the mist-breathing. Because the mist-breathing Hashira took on the wind and serpent-breathing Hashira in combat. It wasn't to the death, but he was taking 2 on at once. So for them to need 2 of these guys, they're either going after Muzan himself or number 1 of the upper demons. But we can't see it. We don't know who they're chasing. So it's interesting. Are they just destroying the surroundings? Do they think that destroying the Infinity Castle could break the trance? Or are they just trying to wipe out everything so that they can bring everyone together instead of them being all separated? Questions that we don't know the answers to, but questions nonetheless. Okay, so we've got I don't know what her breathing style is. It's very much like a dancer, and again, her blade, somehow, I don't know what kind of metal, or I know what metal they obviously use, they all use the same metal for their swords. But how is that metal able to be bent in such a fashion? I know there's breathing techniques, but I never knew they could... Oh, I was going to say they can't extend to a sword, but then we have water breathing and wind breathing and Hinokami Kagura. So I guess they can. But that's a breathing technique, not a sword technique. I'm not sure. But either way, seeing her go against these demons, and all of these demons she's fighting look the exact same, which is interesting, because normally demons, they all do look different. From memory, there's never been a demon that looks the same. So maybe these, could they have been twins, or triplets, or quadruplets, however many there are? Or is it one demon with the ability to multiply? Interesting. I guess we'll find out soon. And this shot is just insane. Oh, actually, that's maybe not the right place to pause it. Hang on. Okay, that's not really any better. But those demons, as I said, all look the same. Now we're getting like 10 times the amount, which is crazy. And the Infinity Castle in the background, it really just reminds me of that castle from Spirited Away. Like, I know this is like traditional Japanese architecture and everything, but just the way it is with the demons streaming out of it just reminds me of Spirited Away. And it's sick. It just looks so cool. I'm just picturing the fight that's eventually going to happen, which they're not showing us, and her using her blade to take out all of these guys is going to be... Because they can't be too weak, because otherwise there's no point in Hashira fighting them. Or maybe that's why they've given us the numbers, because they'll just wear her down over time. But her weapon is the long-range one. She can wipe them out, kind of like Gin in Bleach. So, yeah. Interesting again. I don't know what they'll do here. Again, I've forgotten his name, I'm sorry, but I freaking love the water-breathing Hashira, because ever since, literally, I think it was episode 1 or 2, he's been there for Tanjiro and Nezuko, and he's been like the one person that has fully believed in them. He even fought the insect-breathing Hashira to protect Nezuko until, obviously, they decided, hey, Nezuko can actually live and we won't try and kill her. So yay, but he stood up to all of the other Hashiras, and I think they share the same mentor, which is a very cool bond. I hope he doesn't die, though. It makes me nervous, because earlier on in Demon Slayer, he was saying how he wanted Tanjiro to be the next water-breathing Hashira. He won't be anymore, I hope, because he's going to be the next or first sun-breathing Hashira. I'm not sure if they've had one before, but I really hope he becomes the first. Which means I don't want this guy to die. Because I know he was just like, I need to find someone stronger to take over from me. But that means if someone takes over, you most likely have died. And I don't want that, because he's a very nice guy. And it was so funny when, during the Hashira training arc, Tanjiro kept coming to him and like knocking on his door. And like they animated Tanjiro to like look like a kid with those super big kind of like cutie eyes. And he's just like, come train, what you doing? And it was adorable. And the interaction those two had was great, and it made me laugh so many times. So for the sake of hopefully seeing that kind of stuff again in the future, I hope he doesn't die. This shot right here makes me very nervous, because the last time we entered the Infinity Castle, which was also the first time, or it wasn't the first time the Demon Slayers entered it, right? Tanjiro was super focused on Muzan, and he was angry, and he was like, Muzan, I will defeat you. But what's got him looking so distraught? Someone's probably passed, died, been stabbed on the process of, and it's freaking him out. And again, we have to remember this is movie 1 of 3, which is going to suck because there'll just be a cliffhanger at the end of every single film. However, whatever it is has got him freaked out. And his mark looks the same size, which means they probably won't change the size of his mark in this movie. It wouldn't make sense, right? You'd wait until second or third. But could he have been defeated, then he's going to come back stronger? It's tricky because we just had the Hashira training arc, so I feel like they've already done that. But whatever it is, whatever's happening, Tanjiro is lost. Can I also say, I know this is obviously anime, and Tanjiro and the others like are Hashira level, so for them I can kind of understand. But for all the normal Demon Slayers who got sent to the Infinity Castle, fall damage would have killed them. I don't understand. I know they have breathing techniques, but being able to survive a fall to the Infinity Castle, like 30, 40 stories at least, at the speeds they're traveling, even for a Hashira, that's like pushing it, in my opinion. But for every other person who is not a Hashira, they should be dead. Like, honestly, this fall should end the saga. So I honestly do hope, as gruesome as it sounds, I hope I see that happen to a few people, because then in our logical minds, we're like, okay, it's happened. The ones who have survived have obviously planned or have been able to do something with their breathing techniques, but for them all to be able to survive that, it wouldn't make sense. And again, I'm saying it wouldn't make sense in a world with demons and demon slayers. So, still, I stand by my logic gap there. That weapon is sick. I'm not sure if we've seen it before. All I remember of this character is when his face got like ripped off by the guy with the 6 eyes, and he looked like that training dummy that the misbreathing Hashira was after, and that Tanjiro fought against to train, like the guy with the 6 arms, that training dummy, who was a replica of the greatest swordsman of all time. He looked like the guy who cut this guy's face in half. So, was it based off the demon, that original dummy? And if it is, then he's strong enough to defeat, or you can't really defeat these guys, they're practically immortal. I don't even know if they can kill each other, in all honesty. But he was strong enough to kind of rip the face off, as terrible as that sounds, off this demon. The regenerative abilities came back super quickly, but he did it without him even noticing, and I think his, like, I don't know if it's called Aura and Demon Slayer, that's like solo level in terms, Hunter x Hunter terms, and I don't think it's Bloodlust either, but his presence, I'll just say that, kind of shocked everybody else into like submission. And this guy, again, he's already so strong, and I don't think we saw him use this weapon as a defense last time, so I don't know if it was because he didn't have the time to react with this weapon, or the other guy was just too strong, or he let him kill it, like, let him take his face off because he knew it would grow back. There was no point fighting with this. But whatever it is, it's a fan, but whatever its powers are, it looks super cool. Maybe if it's a fan, he's going up against the wind-breathing Hashira, so then the fan emits wind, like a really strong high-pressure wind, so then he has to go up against the wind Hashira, and we see who's stronger. Interesting. Maybe. Kind of, maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. And the exact next shot is the insect-breathing Hashira, I think. I think it's insect-breathing or bug-breathing, one of them. So, I was incorrect. It's not the wind-breathing Hashira he's going to fight. But maybe they join forces. I feel like if the fan does emit wind, it'd be too good not to pair them against each other to see who would be stronger. And this fight is epic already. The animation quality of Demon Slayer is probably the best I have ever seen in an anime. And look, you guys might disagree with me. I've only been watching anime since beginning of last year. So in the year and a half I've been watching anime, and I've watched like 50 to 60 shows and a few movies, Demon Slayer is the best. And these movies, I just know, seeing it on like in IMAX or on a huge VMAX screen, again, it'd be something else. I never got to see the Mugen or Mugen train. I don't know how you pronounce it, I'm sorry. I never got to see that in cinemas. I was a bit too late for that, in terms of like only starting Demon Slayer recently. So being able to see these in cinemas and this fight scene is just going to blow my mind. It'll be like I'm a kid at a candy store, except it's grown-up me watching Demon Slayer. So yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. Long time no see. How does he know Zenitsu? How? I don't understand that. Is it Zenitsu's dad? Do we know Zenitsu has a father? Like, what happened to his parents? Because he was under the training wing of the old man. Did his parents become Demons. I don't know. And Zenitsu now is fully awake, so that means he's finally mastered using that one ability, but in his awakened state. Because during the Hashira training arc, he would not leave the rock, like that area, to come and go on with the others until he could push the rock that everybody else could. And he was like, for once in his life, Zenitsu fully locked in while he was awake, because he knew how important it was. And I guess because of that, he's now able to use his full abilities, which is the one form lightning breathing technique, while he's awake. But to see him this angry at this other guy, what history do they have? They would make him so furious. Can I just say, the music, I don't know the names of these songs, like if it's what I'm thinking of, but just the theme music of Demon Slayer as a whole is probably ranks second or third for me of all time. I love the My Hero Academia You Say Run and You Can Be Hero ones, but Demon Slayer is full on up there. Whenever it's like the most emotional scene ever, even for a demon which you should hate, and then they try and hate's a strong word, so strongly dislike. So you should strongly dislike the demon, and then they show you the emotional backstory. They put in this music, and they try and make you empathize with them and sympathize. And it wouldn't be possible without the music. And it's so strong, even in these fight scenes. Whoever came up with this original score for Demon Slayer deserves like 1,000 awards, because it's just great. I assume these are the two singers who will be providing like tracks for the first movie. I don't know who Aimer is. I know of Lisa. I know she's hugely famous, right? I think I've heard her songs before with Solo Leveling and with the new Formula One movie, which has come out, but I don't know much of her. I know like the songs I've listened to her, the two songs have been really, really good, and I'm pretty sure she's like popular, right? Like hugely popular. So that'll be a big draw for a lot of people. This other person, I'm not sure who they are. I'm sure though they're equally as good, so I'm gonna look forward to hearing both of their songs. This shot of Tanjiro against Akaza, and then Akaza's theme, Akaza, again, I'm sorry, names, not great with. For now, until somebody corrects me in the comments if I've done it wrong, I'm just going to call him Akaza, because that's what I think it is. Akaza versus Tanjiro, a rematch, revenge for Rengoku. I honestly kind of want Rengoku's father to appear here as well, and for him to be the one who ends up getting revenge, because he was like a drunken mess, and he wouldn't even like go to his son's funeral, and he kicked Tanjiro out, said sun breathing was a disgrace or whatever it was. But I would like him to get revenge for his son, or justice, not really revenge, and help Tanjiro. He wouldn't help him before. I would like to see him come back in and help him, because Tanjiro needs to conserve his strength. Because if these three movies take place back to back, no matter how strong Tanjiro is, he can't beat Akaza, maybe beat another demon, and then beat Muzan. Like, even that's too much for humans. But this shot in itself, with the eyes, and then literally with Akaza's eyes, it literally, I keep saying literally because I'm still trying to comprehend and wrap my mind around it, but it looks like there's different cells, because when you use a microscope and you zoom into cells, these kind of same patterns and fragments that are like made of shapes in his eyes, it looks like the same kind of thing. And it's quite interesting because it does look beautiful, but at the same time it makes me think, why do they look like cells? Is it because his eyes perceive things faster than what a normal eye would? So then the cells, his eyes are made up of different cells to absorb the light in, because if he moves at a faster speed, he would need to absorb the light at a faster speed to be able to see at said speed. Otherwise, he would be blind. So could that be the reason his eyes look like? Because they have to look like that, because they have to absorb more light in for him to move at said speeds? I don't know. I said a few too many times, but I think you get the gist. In short, eyes look like cells, different, absorb more light to move at high speeds without being blind. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think that'll be explained in the show, but if that is actually what it is, It's very clever, because I can, if that is what it is, I can pick it up just from looking at a shot of his eyes. So well done, whoever animated that and came up with that idea. And again, zooming out and we see more of him. This kind of freeze frame of both of them, but then we still zoom out and see each person's raw emotions. Tanjiro fuming. This guy looks pretty careless. He doesn't even really, at the moment, seem like he's taking it too seriously. So I can't wait to see how the tables are turned. Yeah, look, he's just smiling. So he's not even, well, let's get this party started. He's not even taking this damn thing seriously. Guy's a douche, honestly. He's cool in a sense as a demon, but he's a douche because of what he did to Rengoku. So I don't like him for that, for obvious reasons. It's like saying, well, it's basically like what happened with, I would call it, it's basically the same thing that happened to Luffy's brother Ace. It's like the same kind of scenario. Obviously they weren't brothers, him and Rengoku, but the same kind of feeling that we got from it, at least that I got from it, was the same thing with like Luffy and Ace, and how Ace was killed right in front of him, and how Tanjiro and Rengoku was killed right in front of him, both by a super powerful enemy that the main characters couldn't defeat yet. And now is the time for Tanjiro to get his revenge. It's gonna be cool. Can I say, can honestly somebody who's watching this video please help me out with this? I don't understand, or maybe don't spoil it, but give me a hint, because I don't understand what Akaza's power is. I didn't understand when I saw it with the Mugen train arc. I think it's super speed, but why are there snowflakes on the ground? Because it literally looks like a snowflake. But what do his powers have to do with the snow? To do with snowflakes? Is it because a snowflake moves fast in the wind, so he's fast, but that doesn't make sense? Is this not a snowflake, but it's like a drawing of time? I don't know, but I swear, it looks like snowflakes, and it looked like that in the Mugen train arc. So I don't get it. I just fully don't understand why those things appear in the ground. So if somebody could help me with that, that would be amazing. But at the moment, it just confuses me. And then, yeah, there we go. That's the rest of the trailer. So it ended there, which leaves a lot to the imagination if you're a person like me and you've either just recently seen Demon Slayer or you've been watching for a while but haven't read the manga, so you don't know what's going to happen next. We're in the dark, so we're going to go in blind, and even the people who know what's going to happen, I'm sure it'll be very awesome for you to see it animated and shown on the big screen in a 3-part movie with music. It's just going to blow everyone's minds, I can just tell, and I'm super excited. Tanjiro is one of my favorite characters. He's very much like Gon and Izuku Midoriya, which is why I love the character so much, because of the positivity, the endless positivity that they have, and the idealism that can still exist in a world full of such demonic beings is very powerful. And I'm just glad I get to see more of them. Like, I thought when it was announced that there was a movie that it would just be the end, but there's 3 movies. So it's great we get to see more of them for a little while longer. But that's my reaction and breakdown to the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. I think, again, part 1 of 3. It's great. I loved it. As you could see from my reaction, I was smiling pretty much most of the time. I'm sorry if me not knowing some of the names of the characters bugged you or annoyed you. Again, I know all the faces. It's just names tend to go in one ear and out the other. Not intentionally, because at the same time, I imprint who they are in my memory. So I'm sorry if I said some of the names wrong. I remembered all the characters who they were, though. And yeah, I just cannot wait to see it on the big screen. So thanks again for watching my reaction. I do have some more reactions coming out to My Hero Academia Vigilantes, One Piece. I'm starting One Piece at the very end. I know it sounds crazy. I explain it in my videos, but I basically have skipped every single episode of One Piece and started at 11:27. There's a reason. It's in my One Piece reaction video, so check that out. I'm also starting Attack on Titan and One Punch Man with my anime-hating friend. I love anime, as you can see. My friend absolutely does not like anime. I surprised him with Attack on Titan one day. He didn't know we were going to react to anything, let alone to anime, and now I'm making him watch every season and every episode of both. And then when we're done each series, we'll start a new anime. So he's kind of locked in, unfortunately for him. Sorry, not sorry. But that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.